What's up, y'all? So I'm about to pluck my eyebrows, and I wanted to talk to you guys while I did that because there's a couple of things that have happened that I just need to, you know, talk about it. So the first thing is there's a guy that I met, and he's a white guy, and I have no problem with white guys except for the fact that I'm mixed. So to an extent, I could be white passing, but that's only to like super ignorant white people who don't know that mixed people exist. Other than that, I have this thing where I feel like white men want to date me because I'm into BDSM, and they're just looking for an opportunity to basically abuse with consent a black woman and call her a nigger without any consequences. I understand that that's irrational, but still, it's a concern in the back of my head when it comes to white men. Because so many white men are attracted to me or express an attraction for me. That's like the first thing that comes to my head, like, you can't wait to call me a nigger, huh? So anyway, if you'll pardon the expression, I meet this guy, and I should have probably put y'all on the other side, but there's nothing to hold it up, so deal with it for now. He is a good looking guy for the most part. He's not ugly. He's intelligent and intellectual. He speaks very well, which is something I always appreciate in someone that I'm talking to. People who make the effort to be articulate, you know, to speak properly. It's okay to lay back and chill and shoot the shit, but for the most part, I like someone who's well spoken and articulate. And he is this. He's 6'1", so tall guy. And he was saying all the right things. So I said to myself, I want to meet this guy. I got to meet him. I got to feel his energy in person, so I know if this is something worth pursuing or not. And so I invited him to come over last night to hang out. And he came. And everything was cool at first. You know, he's a part of the BDSM scene as well. He identifies as a Primal Dom. Again, if I'm using terms that you don't understand or don't know, look them up because I'm not going to elaborate. So he said he identifies as a Primal Dom, which is fine because I'm a Primal Sub. We talked briefly about the things that I'm into, the things that he's into, and I'm not going to detail them for you guys because, again, this is a very exclusive lifestyle and community of people. So if you don't know about it, then it's going to sound like, oh my God, that's abuse. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but you're wrong. If you don't desire to take the time to look into the lifestyle with an open mind and say, if this is cool for some people, you know, if they actually like this stuff, then that's their life. It doesn't affect me. Like, what I do with my pussy, my titties, my mouth, my whatever, ain't got shit to do with you. So for you to be like, for example, oh my God, that's of the devil, y'all are going to hell. That's your belief, honey. You can have it. It's yours. Take it, own it. Don't ever get into BDSM, but it has no bearing on what I do in my life. And as long as we're clear on that, we're good. That being the case, I am into a certain level of this consensual abuse. And my tastes are very specific as far as what I like. We sat watching music videos on YouTube for a while. He kind of let me in on the type of music he likes. I let him in on the type of music I like. After a while, he wanted to cuddle. Okay, we're adults. Let's cuddle. We're cuddling. It's cool. He's like going like this to my arms and putting pressure on my body. And I'm like, are you testing my fortitude? Like, what are you doing? And at one point, he did it to my legs, where he took my legs and he kind of pressed into them, and you know, I could really feel it. Now, when it comes to these type of things, if you're not a part of this lifestyle, you don't know. But I'm going to say this video is for educational purposes because there is a certain element of education that you have to have within this lifestyle to understand the inner machinations of it, basically. When you are applying pressure to someone's body and when you are inflicting pain on someone who enjoys receiving pain, a masochist, usually there is a sexual component involved which heightens the body's tolerance for the pain. If I'm not turned, and this is me specifically, If I'm not turned on or sexually aroused, pain is just pain. If I'm sexually aroused, then certain types of pain can be transmuted into pleasure. If you don't understand that, I'm not even sorry. That's just, it's not for everybody. But if you get it, then you get what I'm saying. He didn't turn me on physically. Like, to look at him, he's a good looking guy, but I didn't feel any sexual attraction. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta have him. And that's what I need to be involved with someone in that way. I have to be like wildly attracted to you. I didn't feel that with him, but I liked his energy. I liked the way he held me, the way he put his arms around me. At one point, he put his hand, around my face, like, being rough with me, and I'm okay with that as well. And it was mostly like clothes on grinding, basically. He didn't penetrate me, like there was no sex. It was almost like a tease, And I'm okay with teasing to a certain extent, but I'm a grown-ass woman. Like, don't tease me and then go home, which is what he did. That's not what I'm getting to. What I'm getting to is his level of abuse. The things that he likes to do seem to me, like I could be wrong, but this is the way it came across to me. He would make the motion like he was hitting my leg, like that, but it didn't hurt. It was just like, and then he would look over at Zeus like, are you gonna try to save her life? And I'm like, you gotta understand that he's not going off of what you're doing. He doesn't care what you're doing. He is more concerned with how I'm feeling. If my energy shifts and I feel fear at any point, or if I feel anxiety, then he's gonna come over and start sniffing around like, hey, what's going on over here? And Zeus has done that before, where I was hanging out with somebody and they started to make me feel a little anxious, like a little fearful. And he started pushing himself between me and that person, literally pushing himself. And when they tried to put their hand on his head, he opened his mouth, like grabbing their arm to be like, no, you need to get away from her. So Zeus is very intuitive when it comes to these things. And that's why I keep him around when these things are happening. So, especially with somebody I don't really know, just so they know you're not going to get away with some shit up in here. So while we're doing that and, doing that thing, he would like take his hand and do this, like to my back, like how it would feel if somebody was trying to stab you in the back. Like, he was being playful, but it also seemed a part of him to do things like that, because he did the same thing to the back of my head. And the people who know me know how I am about my head. You have to be careful when it comes to my head. You could jiggle my brain around and, So at one point I got on top of him, straddled him, and I looked him in his eyes, and as much as I could, because he really wasn't keeping very much eye contact, which lets me know that I either intimidate him or he's got some other intention. But I looked him in his eye and I said, why are you a Primal Dom? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like in here, in your heart, like in yourself. Why do you consider yourself a Primal Dom? And he couldn't answer the question. And that for me was a big red flag. You claim to be a Primal Dom and you enjoy degrading and humiliating and abusing with consent women, but you don't know why. And the why matters to me. So that was the big deal. Like, I feel like if you don't know why you're a Primal Dom, then you likely don't know why you're a part of this lifestyle, and you don't know why you like to abuse women, particularly African American women. So it kind of made me feel like I'm not trying to invite you back, you know what I mean? Like, this was a test to see like how we get along, how we vibe, and he's cool to be around, but I just don't see that going any further. Primarily because abuse without consent is abuse. And I will accept a certain amount of abuse with consent, but I'm very specific about the type of abuse that I will tolerate. And the way I enjoy it is open-handed, okay? Slapping my ass, stuff like that. If you're closing your fist to strike or make contact with me, my body, my skin, we have an issue. Because now I feel like you're throwing hands. And now I feel like I need to defend myself. And I shouldn't feel that way if this is a sexual thing or if this is a kink thing, Granted, there might be somebody out there who's into the shit that he's into, but I'm not into that shit. I'm gonna text him today and let him know, like, basically, this ain't gonna happen again. Like, we're just not gonna do it. And like I said, not everybody is going to understand what I'm talking about or what I mean. And if you don't, that's fine. If you're truly, genuinely curious about it and want to know more just for the sake of understanding, then I'm happy to answer questions. If your goal is to pass judgment or to explain how you're not into that shit or, divulge your religious beliefs about what I do with my body, miss me with that. I don't want to hear it. I grew up in a very strict Christian home. I had enough of that shit. I don't need to know how you feel about it. I really don't care. The purpose of this is for me to, like I said, I'm trying to be more open with you guys, trying to share more of who I am with you. And if it's not respected, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to love it. But if it's not respected, if you can't look at me as an adult and say, hey, if you're with that shit, then that's fine. It's not for me, though. If you can't do that, then what's the point of me opening up to you guys? You understand? If we're talking like adults, let's be adults. Just because someone does something that you don't approve of or you don't like or you don't do does not make it wrong. It just makes it not good for you. And that's okay. Not everything is for everybody. But if you find that someone likes something that you don't like, it doesn't make them wrong. You understand? It makes it good for them, not so good for you. But there's no right or wrong there. Different strokes, different folks. Now the thing is, I already have somebody who abuses me with consent. And I'm going to always say with consent. So you guys don't, try to twist that into saying, oh, Megan's out here getting abused. Like, with my consent, nigga, with my consent. I already have someone who engages with me in these ways, in ways that are very pleasurable to me and very satisfying to me and to him. But at the same time, I want more from this guy. I want a more solid relationship. I want something a little bit more concrete. And he doesn't want that right now. And because we're adults, we were able to discuss that. And I understand what he wants and what he doesn't want. So we're not on the same page as far as that's concerned, which is what's got me looking for someone else who can give me the balance that I need, where I can take the abuse with consent, but I also want the aftercare. And if you don't know what aftercare is, look it up. I'm not going to elaborate. I also want the aftercare. I want that daddy dom side for the other parts of me so that I can have, the whole thing all at once. And in doing so, I ran across this particular guy who ended up not being a good match. And that's what happens, You meet somebody, you try to vibe them out and feel them out, and you realize you're not a good match, and you go your separate ways, you try again. I'm not one to easily give up, so I'm going to continue looking. But I just realized that this guy wasn't it, His style of dominance does not fit well with my style of submission. So it's a mismatch. So I'm going to have to let him go. I've noticed within this lifestyle, been a part of this lifestyle for 13 years. In case you are questioning my knowledge or my skills or my whatever regarding this lifestyle, 13 years I've been involved very deeply into this lifestyle. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've come across quite a few men, particularly white men, who, number one, are just attracted to me, off rip. They claim to be dominants or masters or some other sort of top. And they enjoy, the aspects and the dynamic, but they're not truly a part of the lifestyle. They just, like this guy, they like to hit on stuff, They like to feel that contact. They like to be in control in that way. But that's not dominance. Dominance is a demeanor. It's an energy, it's an aura that you carry about yourself. Dominance is not what you do, it's who you are. So it's very easy for me at this point in my life to readily identify someone who is not a dominant or not a master versus someone who is, because it's an energy. You can feel dominance. You don't need to see it. You can feel it. And I'll give you an example. My best friend, the reason why she and I dated for so long is because she's a dominant. She has a dominant personality. You feel that shit when she walks into the room. It happens all the time. Everywhere we go. When we were working together, she would come into our training room and everything would stop the minute she walked into the room. Didn't matter what she came in there for. Her presence itself rendered everyone silent. That's a dominant. It's a dominant presence. That's what being a dominant is about. It's who you are inside. Not everybody is cut out to be a dominant, which is why there are so many other aspects to this lifestyle, like submissive or switch or whatever. For me, I require a dominant, someone who has a dominant demeanor. And the guy that I am currently involved with in that way, it's not a relationship, it's an entanglement. It's an entanglement. The guy that I am involved with in that way is a true dominant. He has that demeanor, that aura about him. It's when he texts me, I start to shake. I get nervous. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm short of breath. And that's dominant. Someone who can create a physical reaction within you just with their presence. That's dominance. Putting your hands on somebody, choking somebody, being rough with them during sex, that's not dominance. That's just kinky sex. You know, lots of people do that. I've come across quite a few men who are not dominants. They are just kinky men. And they come into this lifestyle because they want to explore those kinks. But they realize very quickly, this isn't the place to figure yourself out, you know? You do that on your own. And then you determine if you fit within this lifestyle once you figure out who you are. It's not easy to find someone who's a good match. It does take some looking around. But I'm hopeful that I'll find someone who's a good fit for me. Because I really enjoy the dynamic that I have with the guy that I'm dealing with now. But like I said, I want more. And I don't want to pressure him into being someone he's not for the sake of me getting the balance that I want. And I don't want to just be with him because this is what it is right now. Like, I want what I want and I deserve to have it. So I'm going to make an effort in that regard. And at some point, him and I are going to have to part ways, which I'm sure he's going to be okay with. Because he wants what he wants and I want what I want, and it is what it is. Of course, there was one point where I was hopeful that he would come around, you know, that he would want more from me than he's getting or than he's requiring, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and I'm not going to force it because that's how you fuck shit up. So for the most part, I'm just going to let it be what it is. Just continue keeping my options open to receive what I want. I don't know how many of you guys still tweeze your eyebrows, but this is like the only way that I can get my eyebrows to be the way that I want them to be, is with the tweezers. I've been doing it for so long. It's like second nature now. So I wanted to come and discuss this with you guys because I also wanted to point out, number one, abuse is wrong. Abuse without consent is wrong. Abuse with consent from a consenting adult over the age of 21 is fine for that person or for those people. We like what we like. Some people like to watch porn. Some people like to play golf. Some people like to drink alcohol. Some people like to smoke weed. Some people like to do shrooms. Some people like to snort cocaine. Some people like it up the butt. Some people don't. We all have our things. And if we could just learn to leave people alone and let them live their lives without us always wanting to give a commentary, we'd be happier people. You'd be a lot happier if you weren't so concerned with what the next person was doing with their genitals. Remember that. I'm going to finish getting my eyebrows together. I'm actually, as you can see, I didn't do very much on the makeup today. I usually don't. What I have on right now, you can't really tell, but tiny bit of blush. Just a tiny bit. A little bit of shadow here, a little bit of shadow there, some eyeliner and mascara. Put my contacts in. I don't have on any foundation, and I'm not going to wear lipstick. So I go very easy on my makeup. For me, it's just an enhancement because I'm already beautiful. So it's just an enhancement, you know, it's just to kind of make me pop a little bit more, give me a slightly different look for the day. That's why I wear makeup. It's something fun, you know, give me a different look. It's just something fun to do. Where I'm going is possibly to Target because I want to see if they have alcohol rubbing alcohol. And I need to get something. What do I need to get? I know I need rubbing alcohol. There was one more thing that I needed to get today. I'm more than likely gonna stop and get a smoothie. That eyebrows. Bears! Yeah, like I was saying, more than likely I'm gonna stop by and get a smoothie. And I'm gonna go to Target and see if I can find some rubbing alcohol. There was something else that I needed. I'm trying to remember what it was. I know it's gonna come to me. I wasn't gonna go because it had started raining outside a little bit, and I didn't wanna go out in the rain. I was gonna wait for it to stop. But turns out that it's not that bad. It's not raining too bad. It actually didn't rain very much at all. I didn't even hear any rain on my roof. So I should be cool to go. I think I'm gonna get an eyebrow brush or thing while I'm out because I don't have anything to fill in my eyebrows with. And like in this lighting, it looks like I barely have any eyebrow, when in actuality they're actually pretty full. So normally what I do, get a little bit of water or maybe even mineral oil and just kind of go over them like this. It helps darken them up just a little bit. I missed a spot. But yeah, I'm probably gonna just go to Target. And I want to cook my steak today. I ended up not cooking it yesterday. As you'll see in the vlog from yesterday, I ended up hanging out with that guy that I was telling you guys about. And after that, I got on my game. So there's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about though while I have you here. And like I said, I'm trying to be more open with you guys and talk more about what's going on in my life and the things that I encounter. It's not easy for me, but I'm trying. And I'm just hoping that those of you who come across this video are open-minded and understanding about the way that I live my life. I live a very taboo life, which is why I keep it private. Because, again, it's just not for everybody. And I don't try to live for everybody. It's not my intention to live for anybody except myself. And some people would see that as selfish, and that's because it is selfish. It has to be. I cannot physically or in any other way live for anyone except myself. So for me to even try would be ridiculous, because I cannot live my life for anybody else but me. Everything that I do has to be selfish. It has to be what I like, what I want, where I want to go, who I want to be with. It has to be about me. If I spend my life doing things for other people, then I'll never be fulfilled. I will never achieve the things that I want unless, and some people are like this, unless my fulfillment comes from doing something for someone else. But if at any point I ever want self-satisfaction, I have to do things for me. I have to do things that feel good to me. And I have to do things that are good for me. And only I can determine that. Nobody else can do it. No preacher, no parent, no boyfriend, girlfriend. Nobody else can do that but me. Because only I know what happiness feels like to me. So I'm going to take this nose ring out and put a different one in. I was very honest with someone recently about who I am and what I want in my life. And that person did not take it well. I don't think I want to use this ring. I'm not the type to sugarcoat things or lie or just put on a front. Like, I'm very straight up about what I want and who I am. So like, if let me just put it like this. I told this person who I was. I basically said to her, you want my phone number? You want to be in contact with me more frequently or on a more personal level? Because right now we only talk on the game, like when we're gaming, because that's what I do. I'm a fucking gamer. But she wanted my phone number like she wants to be friends, and I get it. We flirt a lot because me being who I am and being a Libra, I do flirt a lot. And it's only because it's fun for me. Like, I enjoy flirting with other people, and that shock factor when I say certain things. I enjoy that. It's entertaining for me. But I'm usually not serious. If I am serious, then you'll know, because I won't really flirt with you like that in front of other people. I'll tone it down. Like, I'll be more trying to talk to you in private and get to know you on another level, But if you're ever in like a group chat with me or anything like that, or in a group setting, and I'm flirting with you openly, chances are good I'm not being serious. Because people that I'm truly interested in, I don't flirt with them openly in front of other people. I keep that private. But she wanted my phone number, so I gave it to her. And we were on the game until it was her and me and, a couple other people. And we stayed on the game until about 2 in the morning or so. And when we got off the game, she called me. It's like 3 in the morning. And I was like, strike number 1, baby. It's 3 in the morning. Like, I know we just got off the game, but once we get off the game, that's it. Like, we're gaming friends. And that's where it is for me. And like, it just is what it is. Like, we are gaming friends. We're not like besties, you feel me? So calling me at 3 a.m. is like a family/best friend thing. Like, you're not there yet. So when she called me, even though I was up, I didn't answer her call. So she texted me right after. She texted me a sad face, like a crying face. And then she sent me a sad face, a bed, and like the sleeping face. I don't know. She sent a bunch of shit. And then this morning, I wasn't even awake. And my phone was ringing, and it was her. And because I was half asleep, I turned over, looked at it, and went back to sleep. When I got up, there was a text message from her that said, "Oh, all right, I'll stop calling you." And I was like, damn, she had a whole conversation by herself about why I'm not answering the phone. So that put me in a position to say things to her that I didn't quite want to say and was hoping I wouldn't have to say. But I don't want to call it putting her in her place, but to an extent I had to put her in her place. Like, listen, Linda, let me explain to you who I am, basically. I'm the type that when I give you my number, because we're not close friends, I don't accept calls between the hours of 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. If there's something you want to talk about, then you can hit me up between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And I was like, it's going to be that way until I invite you to become a part of my inner circle of friends, if that ends up being the case. And I'm not going to give you guys like the whole rundown of what I told her, but I basically told her this is how I am. I live my life by a specific set of rules that I set. And anybody who wants to be a part of my life in a real way in my inner circle, you're required to abide by these rules first, before I can allow you into that inner circle. And my inner circle is small. I would say 3 people tops in my inner circle of friends. So like, I told her all of that, like, just being real, being an adult about who I am and what I require in my life as far as friends and stuff. And her response was, wow, you got it. I don't even know what that means. I was hoping we could have a conversation. Like, at the end of what I said, I was like, let me know what your thoughts are. But instead she was like, wow, you got it. So I don't know. Not everybody is going to understand, accept, or respect your truth. But that does not mean that you should stop being truthful. And as long as I know who I am and what I want, that is who I'm going to be. That's who I'm going to portray myself to be. I have no other choice. And if other people aren't able to rise to my standards in order to be a part of my life, then it is what it is. I feel like I'm dressed and ready to go. Well, my clothes are shabby as fuck because I just took Zeus out. But yeah, I'm ready to run. I'm probably going to grab a smoothie while I'm out and then go to Target, see if I can find some rubbing alcohol and come back. I do have to edit the 2 vlogs from the day before yesterday and yesterday, so I do need to sit down and focus and get that done. So I'm gonna make sure I do that as well. But this video is already like 37 minutes long, and it was just me talking. So this may be like a standalone video by itself, just because I had a few things I wanted to get off my chest. And I appreciate you guys listening to me and allowing me to vent and commenting and talking to me and stuff. Like, I'm a person, I go through shit too. Like, everything isn't perfect all the time. It's just I have learned how to react to things so that the outcome is always satisfying for me. So I don't react negatively to negative situations. I react positively to negative situations because I look for solutions, and that's what's important to me. So let me get my shit together and get up out of here, and I'll talk to you guys.